Hello and welcome to the Elysian Path. So, the message I have today is I'm getting the strong feeling that you're feeling weary and that your life has not changed or moved forward. I do feel that perhaps you are somebody who's perhaps possibly watched quite a few tarot readings, maybe online, or you may have been to see some or had some live in-person readings where you have been given a lot of hope about your life changing and you moving forward. But I feel there is a sense of disappointment because you've been hanging on to those words and because it hasn't materialized. There is a feeling of emotional loss, a feeling of despair that you're sitting waiting for life to change. But what Spirit is saying to me is also remember that you have the power to change it. So there are feeling that you are waiting for an outside force to come in. You've watched these readings. You have maybe had an in-person live reading and are feeling somewhat now disappointed because the things that have been predicted have not yet come true. And it's not that they're not going to come true, and it's not that what's meant, as I've said, what's meant for you won't pass you by. But what Spirit are asking me to affirm is that you are also in control and that you have the power to make those changes in your life that you want. Sometimes it's about putting that step forward. And yes, it can be scary because change is uncomfortable, but it's once you put that first step forward, that first action that you take, that then leads that ball rolling into this new life that you're wanting and these changes to come about into your life. So we acknowledge the uncomfortable feeling of emotional loss, but also remember that we have the power. Interestingly, this card came out and we're in the month of August, which is the 8th month. There's an 8th month. So it's really about taking back our power. We have to be mindful that when we are watching tarot readings or when we are going to have a reading, is that and I've been guilty of this, that we don't give our power away to outside forces, because the ones who truly empower is ourselves. We have the power to change things. And of course, if something is meant for us, it won't pass you by. So what I'm asking here, the overall arching message, is not to give up the faith. Don't give up yet. Okay? So we must go forward fearlessly. With the next card being the throat chakra. Following that, we have movement, choices and decisions, and triumph, which I really like, a beautiful success card. So yeah, I think when it comes to the throat chakra, this to me is all about communication, how we communicate with ourselves, with others, how we think and speak about ourselves and our situation. I do get a very, very strong feeling that you are really wanting life to change. You don't like where life is, and because things have not materialised the way you wanted them to, you have then spoken despair, a lack of hope. You kind of give up, and words are powerful, and that's why they are called spellings, because it's also the universe is always listening. So if we're saying, oh, my life's not going to change, then it won't. You have spoke those words into power. Sorry, not that. The power. You have the power, though, to reverse that and go, okay, I'm changing that. We're going to cancel and clear and delete what I've just said, because I have the power to make that brave step forward. And what's meant for me won't pass me by. Once you step out of that emotional loss feeling, stepping back into your own power, speaking words of positivity, saying, I am going to do this, I am going to change my life, and start taking those positive steps, because you know deep down what you need to do to make those positive steps, to make those life changes. I think a lot of the time, for most of us, what holds us back is fear, because we get comfortable with what we know. But change is good and not necessarily to be feared. once we step into that energy, from there we're making movement, choices and decisions will open up for us once we take that first step to make that life change. From there, you will then triumph is the card that came out. There will be success, but it can only happen with you first. Don't give your power outside, perhaps waiting for something to come in. That outside force is what's actually stopping you from moving forward. You will have to take the action first. I'm just going to take an Archangel Michael card to help you with this. As I said, because life hasn't changed yet doesn't mean it won't. Just because you are still in your present circumstances, life is ever changing. Be open to endless possibilities. So we've got lots of cards that have come out. So lean on God and the angels for support. So if you're feeling a little bit weary, call upon Archangel Michael and to God and the angels for support. The next card that came out was your children are watched over by angels. Even if you don't have children, just know that you are a child of God, of the universe, and you are watched over. And there is a lovely sense of knowing that you're guided and protected during this transition in your life. And then the innocence card has come out as well. They all jumped out in a team of 3 here. There's a feeling of purity. Oh, I'm getting a really strong sense of purity and a tingle down my back when I say that. There's a feeling of purity. I think you're feeling worried about making that change. Will it work out? I feel I'm getting a strong sense to take a leap of faith. This will lead to some sort of purity. I don't have all the details here, but there's definitely a feeling of going into purity. I'm just going to tune in a little bit on that. It's having that faith. And the faith to move forward knowing you're guided and protected. I think there's a call to this. Dear God and angels, thank you for helping me see that all of your qualities of pure love and light are reflected within me and all others. Help me embrace my God-given innocence so that I may be at peace. Yeah, there's a strong feeling of perhaps when you're for your life to change, it's possibly going to have a consequence on someone else, possibly something else close to you. But you have to not feel guilty, because actually this is a clearing out. I'm hoping that makes sense to you, because that's the information I'm receiving and I haven't got the full picture, but I really hope this reading helps you. And just know that the good is still to come, but you've got to take that first step and not be afraid. Again, come back to yourself, trust yourself, your intuition, use your discernment wisely. With lots of love, light and blessings, take care.